Now, I left you in that last lecture with a little bit of a cliffhanger. I said, this is a terrible way to return HTML code inside of a single string here in the views file. This is going to get really ugly really quickly. So what solves this is something called templates. So templates are what they sound like. They're a starting point for your code. You can customize them a little bit, but they're basically a way to get all your view code, the visual part of your website, in one place. And here inside of your views, this is where we'll do more complex stuff. Like when we're generating a password, we're going to do all the random function stuff here inside of the view. But then inside of our this views.py and in the template, that's where we're going to be talking about, let's make it this color and have that background and things like that. I know the views.py, it's a little bit confusing because that sounds like the visual part, but really templates is where the visual part of your website lives. So with this, we need to create a templates folder inside of our generator app. So make sure it's inside of your generator app. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to say add folder, and I want to add /templates. Make sure it's all lowercase. Okay, it's really important that you get the spelling on this correct. And then inside of this templates folder, I'm going to right click and add one more folder. And this is going to be the name of our app. So we're going to say generator. Excellent. So inside of your generator app, you should have a templates folder, and inside of that folder, have a generator file. So the reason for all of this is because let's imagine you have a project with lots of different apps, and each of those apps has templates. By putting the name of the app in a folder with the name of the app inside of that templates folder, you can sort of distinguish where the template should come from. Like maybe there's a home.html for this app and that app and that app. And if you have the app name, you can sort of distinguish between them all. We're getting more complex than we need to, but I just wanted to explain why we're doing this. So inside of our generator file, let's go ahead and create a new file now, not a folder, and let's call it something like home.html. Okay, make sure it's a .html file. We'll hit save here, and we'll say something like, this is the new homepage. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save this file. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our views.py. And instead of for the homepage just returning hello there friend, we are going to replace that in this whole HTTP response actually with this thing up here called render. So render is a function from Django that allows you to pass back a template that turns into eventually an HTTP response. So there's all the code that they've done in the background to make this happen. But for us, all we have to do is say return render. Okay. And inside of this render, first we have to pass the request, which came through up here. And then we're going to say comma, and then we're going to type out the name of the HTML that we want to respond back with. Now it's looking inside of our templates folder. So first we have to type out the folder name generator. Okay. Because it's going to be looking inside of this generator folder here. And then we're going to say /home.html. Okay. So we'll go ahead and save this. And now let's go back to our website and let's go to the homepage and look at this. This is the new homepage. So it's actually pulling from this HTML file now. If we want to see if this is really working, let's put this homepage here inside of like an H2 tag. We'll hit save, reload this page, and ooh, you can see that's like bold now and it's on its own line, like cool stuff like that. So I will mention here, I'm going to try and explain stuff about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as we go along. But if you really are new to it, I recommend go following some tutorials online for learning basic HTML. It will really help you. But anyways, it might be enough just following me. But isn't this cool? Now we have these templates here where people can, we can return back HTML because we could make this thing massive. Like I could copy and paste this a bunch. I'll even take this and I'm going to copy this and paste that a bunch of times. So now I have like this really big file. And if I reload the page here, it shows this huge website. But if I come back to my views, it's really simple. It just says, hey, give back whatever inside of that home.html. Now, another cool thing that you can do with this is you can pass information from this views.py into those templates. So let's go ahead and clean this up so that it's not such a big nasty thing. So we'll have, this is the new homepage, and I'm just going to put all of this inside of an H2 tag here. And let's say I wanted to display some information, like eventually we're going to make it so that we generate a random password. So I'm going to simulate that. I'm going to inside of our render here, I'm going to say comma, and then I'm going to do the curly brackets here to say like we're returning back a dictionary or a map, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to first provide a key, which in this case I'll call password, and then I'll do a colon after that, and then I'm going to make up some random password here, okay? So I'm going to save this. So what happens now is this dictionary is passed forward to my home.html, and I can reference any of the items inside of that dictionary by specifying the name of the key. So if I do 2 curly brackets here, and you can see Adam automatically did this for me. So I've got the 2 curly brackets on the left, 2 on the right. Inside of the middle of this, make sure there's spaces on each side. I'm going to type out password, which is the name of the key right here, and it should output what we have here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and save this HTML file, come back to my home page, reload, and look at that. We have this little bit showing up here. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I want to show you this start to finish to really reinforce this concept. Someone comes to our website and just goes to the home page, meaning they don't add anything after, passwordgenerator.com or whatever. So they hit enter on this. What happens is it comes to our Django project, goes to our urls.py. It says, is there anything matching? Oh, look, they didn't enter anything. Here's an empty string. This looks like a matching path. I'm going to go look at this views.home function. So then it goes to the views file, and then it goes to this home, and it says, hey, I want to render this HTML file, and I want to provide this dictionary to that template. So then it goes to the home.html, and it says, I'm going to replace what we have here with the value from this key for password, and that gives us back what we have here. So that's kind of the circle of life in the Django world. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep moving forward.